So, hi Hannah and hi Aaron. Missing them today. I hope you guys are doing well. But yeah, go ahead, throw.
I was gonna see if I could make it.
Yeah, go ahead, throw. JoJo's throwing stuff in class right now. Go ahead, JoJo. Everybody wants to know if you made it.
Yeah! Perfect shot!
By the way, Miss Netzer is a finalist for Teacher of the Year.
Woo!
Yep, just announced. She's in the hallway. Should we bring her in?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's not gonna come if I do it. Somebody go to the door and quick ask her to come on in. Say, Miss Nettiwalk, please come on in.
Hey, Daddy. Can you come here for a second? Me? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not yet.
We won't make you do the chicken dance.
Tell her she doesn't have to do the chicken dance.
No chicken dance.
Except for she comes in with the chicken dance.
I'm gonna tell her that part. Is she coming? Yeah. She's watching.
Washing a coffee mug.
She's in.
Get in here!
Is he slowly laughing?
You don't have to do chicken dance. We promise. We promise. We promise.
What?
Congratulations!
You guys.
3 reasons why Miss Netzer
No.
is deserving a Teacher
No.
of the Year. Who's got
No.
one? Let's go. 3 reasons. Number 1,
Calculus,
go.
3 things.
Kids schizos.
She's called kids schizos. Okay.
Oh, great.
She's
This is
politically
what we're gonna
incorrect. All right. Number 2.
She cares for each student as an individual.
Oh, cares for student as an individual. And what do you got?
Not
You have your
Lily.
hand raised. You go. Yep.
She has the best decorated room.
Best decorated room. And
Full of crap.
She actually takes time to figure out how to help students. Like, she doesn't just pass them off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
oh, it doesn't pass them off. Wow.
She takes a lot of student opinions and decides.
Too many. I got too many.
All right. So for Miss Netzer on 3, 1, 2, 3. Congratulations. Find the volume of the area bounded between the curves. X equals 2, or X plus 2y is 6. X equals 0, Y equals 1. Rotate around. Y equals -2. What is different about this problem compared to the other problems that we've done? We're rotating something around other than the X or Y axis. So when you're rotating around something other than the X or Y axis, things change a little bit. Okay? So let's be very careful as we encounter this problem. X plus 2y is 6. If you wanted to, you could put that in the slope-intercept form. I'm going to graph it using intercepts. I see that the x-intercept is 6 and the y-intercept is 3. Do people see that as well? Okay. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. Other people in your building, Miss Kruger is also a finalist for Teacher of the Year.
I feel like they're the only.
Yeah, I think so. We are going to bound it x equals 0 and y equals 1. So x equals 0 is this vertical line right here, the y-axis, and then we have y equals 1, which is this guy right there. Okay.
Is he here?
We're going to rotate that around what? Y equals -2. So if I go down 1 and down 2, this is the new axis of rotation. How much space is there from the bottom of the area to the axis of rotation?
3 units.
There are 3 units. Everybody agree? So as I try to draw this, as it's reflected down, I'll go 1, 2, 3 units further. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And I would then have, maybe a shape like that. So as I rotate this shape down, it's gonna hit this shape right there. I'm going to draw my washer. Does everybody agree that there is a washer? So that would be just a rectangle defined area if I rotate that around. shape. Everybody okay with what I have? I'm going to go to this side here, and I'm going to draw a washer. And I'm going to use that little strategy that we did the other day. Which is I'm going to put some kind of dashed lines through the region that's formed. Is it the area above or below that forms the washer? Was our original area on the top or the bottom? On the top. So that's where I draw these axes. Is the thickness of this washer dx or dy? It is a dx washer. What is the center of the washer? Y equals -2. What makes the inside of the washer? Y equals 1. And what makes the top of the washer? Yeah, it's going to have to be a y equals something with x, agreed? Because it's dx, the variable must be expressed in terms of x. So I have 2y is equal to 6 minus x. Divide by 2, y is equal to 3 minus 1/2 x. Now, if this was not dx, if it was dy, then you don't have to draw this, but I just want you to understand if it was the other way around, notice that we would have, say, this part, we have this part, we have this part, okay? Keep that in mind as I talk about this right now. The small radius is going to be that distance, and I do top minus bottom. What is the distance from 1 to -2? It is 3 because 1 minus -2 is 3. That is that inner radius. You do top minus bottom. If it was situated like this, you do right minus left. Okay? Sometimes people wonder why that is. If you could consider just simply a number line, we had 0, we had -3, and we had 5. What's the distance between -3 and 5? 8. You did 5 minus -3. Agreed? So it's right minus left gives you that total distance. That's how we calculate the radius. Then if I would like to know this larger radius right here, again, you do top minus bottom. So 3 minus 1/2 x minus what? -2. So as you look at this piece, we have the small radius equal to 3. We have the large radius equal to, I have 3 minus a -2 will be 5. 5 minus 1/2 x. Have I lost anybody? Which part?
The part you just did.
Okay, so again, we're going to do 3 minus 1/2 x, this guy right here. This is the top, and we're going to subtract the bottom. When we take this and we subtract -2, we actually add 2 onto it.
So why are you subtracting that equation from -2?
Because that's going to give us our distance. The distance from the top to the center, we want to know that radius. What is that distance? And the way that we find distance is we take the left or the right minus the left, or we do top minus bottom. That tells us distance. Just like when we started this section and we found area between two curves. We say you take the top minus the bottom. Same thing. So here we have it. We have pi times big R squared, so 5 minus 1/2 x quantity squared. And then we will subtract little r squared, and little r squared is simply 9 dx. That is the volume of one of those shapes. We don't want one, we want an infinite number, so we integrate. Talk to the person next to you, what are my bounds of integration and why?
Should the x be in the...
Whoop. Yeah, sorry about that. 1/x. There we go. Talk to the person next to you, what are my bounds of integration and why? What are bounds of integration and why?
How do you return words? So this is like if well, you tried to intercept me. I know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is my bottom for the bounds of integration? Gregory, 0. Here's what we do, folks. We got to look at, when you're determining the bounds of integration, you must be looking at your original area. As we look at that original area, we are looking for x values. And as we check x values, we start at 0 and we go up to this spot. That spot has a y value of 1 because this is the line 1. Okay, if the y value is 1, how could we determine the x value? We plug it into here, and what plus 2 is 6? It would be 4. So that number is 4. So we have 4 to 0. And there's our integration. So let's attack that. You guys can start working. We have pi times the integral from 0 to 4 of, let's multiply that out. 5 squared is 25. And then what will be in the middle? Anybody know? Of a negative 5 halves x and another negative 5 halves x, which makes a total of negative 5x. What is negative 1/2 x times negative 1/2 x? 1/4 x squared. And then minus 9 would change that 25 to what? 16. So let's get rid of that. Dx. Antiderivative of 16. Minus 5x squared over 2 plus x to the third over 12. Say 1/4. If you divide by 3, it's going to be 1/12. 4 to 0. Obviously, we don't need to plug in the 0. We sure as heck need to plug in the 4. I get pi times, what is 16 times 4? 64. Minus 4 squared is 16. Divided by 2 is 8. And 8 times 5 is 40. Plus 64 over 12. How does 64 over 12 reduce? 16 thirds. Looks like the 64 minus 40 becomes 24. So I have pi times 24 plus 16 thirds. I can avoid my calculator in this situation. 24 times 3 gives me 72 thirds plus 16 thirds. 72 thirds plus 16 thirds is 88 pi over 3 is that exact volume. And as we pause, that looks like a really, really good problem, doesn't it? And if you consider all the mathematics that you use, used systems of equations to determine the point of intersection. We FOILed out this piece here. It was a result of having been factored. Obviously, addition, subtraction. You look at the geometry of the shape that we're using. We're finding volume. You look at the calculus of integration. Really, this type of problem is really a summary of all the things that you've learned in mathematics in many ways. Guess there's not a lot of trigonometry there, but otherwise, there's a lot of other pieces. And that's pretty good. Good job. So, we have a lot of stuff in front of you right now. I know that these assignments are not short. I will not give you a new lesson tomorrow. We're going to do a review activity together. But you are ready to complete through washers part 2, okay? Now, here's what I'm kind of debating when you get back. And you guys tell me, whoop, we just lost Hannah or anybody else on the, Aaron on the list. So I'll just try to extend the page so they can hear as well. So what I was thinking is you're gonna come back on Monday, and what day is that gonna be, the 18th?
Yeah, Monday's the 18th.
Okay, so we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
No,
Nah.
24 is
Ah,
Sunday.
Details. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 1. So this is actually Good Friday and Easter right here, isn't it? So you don't have school on this day. And obviously you don't have school on Saturdays and Sundays. But so originally when I was thinking about all this, I was like, well, what we should really do is we should cover cylindrical shells on this day when you come back, and shells on this day, and they give you workday test. But what I'm thinking is we should do instead is we should do shells and shells, and then I think that we should do our an AP area, which is not an assignment, an AP area, which is not an assignment, and then a workday and a study guide, and then a test on this day. Does that work? Now my goal is that if I put the test on Friday the 22nd, I thought that way you would for sure get your work done over break. But so now I'm fearing that if I put it off until the 26th, you'll be like, well, I don't need to do any calculus over break because I have all this time when I get back. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So what are you going to try to do over break?
Calculus.
I'm not saying don't give yourself some time off. Everybody needs that. I hear you. I've got a bunch of tests I need to start grading tomorrow and things to plan and whatnot. I'll be down here for track. I'll be staying late a few days making copies, trying to get ready for the new quarter that we have in front of us, which, by the way, is the last quarter that you have of high school. But let's make sure that we get a few things done. Otherwise, this test, this is not easy stuff, is it? Like, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's not easy. This can be a good test. It can also be a bad test. I mean, it really depends on what you're ready for. You've got to be able to handle these pieces, okay? Your test will consist of problems where you're finding the area or the volume from beginning to end, and it'll also consist of some problems where you're simply setting up the integral. See the difference? I used to give this test as a 2-day test and open note. And a lot of people say, oh, that would be great, open note. Open notes are usually harder, folks. Okay, they usually don't make things easier, trust me. I changed it to where, because I just wrote so you only have to write the integral for some of those parts, people can get it done in one day. And it's, yeah. Well last year. Question?
Are you gonna have the answer key up for this over break?
Yeah, I think, did I actually post it last night, the answer key for this?
You said you updated everything.
I think I actually posted it, I'll check, but I think I actually posted this answer key yesterday. I was trying to get a little bit of ahead. So I will post this video as well, and you guys should be ready to go. Okay?
Did we miss senior skip day this year?
Oh, let me turn the video off.